Today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little butterfly with coloring pencils. This is an easy beginner drawing lesson for kids of all ages, so let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Animal Farm, we draw all sorts of animals. So let's draw. Now this is what you're going to need for today's drawing lesson. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have my dollar store drawing pad out. It's 8.5 by 11 inches wide. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser, and if you have a dollar store or an old paintbrush lying around that you've never used to paint with, it's great for wiping off your page. I love that. Now we need some color. We need yellow. I've got a nice pink here. I have a peach color. If you don't have peach, you could use a light pink and a dark pink, or you can just use pink and purple. And I also have a little purple color here. And I do have my black fine liner marker. Fine liner just means that it's a tiny little tip there. And I use this for outlining, but if you don't have a black marker, you can use a black coloring pencil for outlining. So why don't I clear my space here and we can start drawing our butterfly. And I just want to mention, like I do all the time, my dog Jack is on my bed next to me and he's asleep and snoring. And he's also very old and he's a little sick, so sometimes he starts to cough. So I just want to let you know you might hear that in the background, okay? All right, why don't we draw a butterfly? So the first thing we're going to do is draw a circle. That's going to be the butterfly's head, and it's going to be a she today, I think. And we'll draw her body. Watch how I draw her body. Kind of like this. Okay? And then she's got a little bottom to her body here. Now let's draw the wings. I'm going to start with the right just because I'm right-handed. So what we do is we're going to draw a wing like this. 4. Same on the other side if I can get it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the bottom part of her wing, we started about here. And we'll go 1, 2, 3. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And I think that's all we're going to do with the pencil. I mean, maybe I'll put in her eyes. She's got big oval eyes for her head. I mean, they're not that big when you look at them, but they're big on her head. And then little ovals like this. And we'll put in all the details later, okay? Now what I would like you to do, see this line? Whoops, sorry about that. See this line here? I want to erase that line, just like that. And if you erase part of the wing or the butterfly's body, just take your pencil and draw it right back in. Okay? Kind of like I did there. I'm going to draw that right back in. There we go. Now why don't we start with some color? Let's start with our yellow color. Now her head and this part of her body is yellow, okay? So we're going to color that in yellow. You could use crayons for this, or you can use a marker. I don't suggest a marker because we're actually going to be blending some colors in with the coloring pencils, and I don't even know if that works with crayons, but you could try it. But if you wanted to make her body a solid, or her wings solid colors, you can definitely use markers. Now when you're using coloring pencils, I don't want you to press down too hard, okay? Because that could break the tip of your pencil, and we don't want to break the tips of our pencils. Also, I'm turning it once in a while. See, I'm coloring, 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 turning. Coloring, 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 turning. And the reason I do that is so that I don't wear it down all on one side, because that makes the tip break as well. And you don't have to press down too hard, because we're going to color it in again. We're going to add a second layer of color, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It's so easy. It's just a fancy term for coloring it in a second time, or a third time, or a fourth time. Now I'm adding my second layer of color, and again, I'm not pressing down too hard, and I'm turning my pencil once in a while. You can already see the difference between one layer and two layers. That's why I love using layers when I'm doing drawings with coloring pencils. That's just a little trick. Layers. That way you don't break your pencil, and you don't, you know, if you're pressing down too hard, sometimes your arm can start hurting and your hand can start hurting, and that's no fun. We want to enjoy drawing, right? Don't forget to turn your pencil. I love this yellow. All right. There we go. That looks so vibrant already. Now I'm going to take my purple color, and I'm going to color in this part of her body down here, purple. And I'm doing the same thing. It's kind of a pinkish purple, I guess, but you can use any purple you want, or you could even use blue, a light blue. So I said I'm doing the same thing. One layer and two layers. See the difference? I'm just being careful not to get any of that purpley color into the yellow. And I'm turning my pencil once in a while. There we go. Nice little purple. Now, let's take our peach color. And what I'm doing is I'm just applying some peach, kind of like this, in her wing. And I'm making this up as I go along. I didn't plan this. So we'll see if it actually looks good. And I'm going to apply a second layer right away. I'm just doing kind of random. I'm not doing anything special there. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Just a little random spot of peach. And a second layer. And we're going to see how that looks when we add the pink. And I'd like to do that here too. Like I said, just a random spot of peach and a second layer. And I'll do that on the bottom here. And a second layer. And I have been turning my pencil, so I hope you have too. All right. How are you guys doing? You doing okay? All right, so why don't we add some pink all over the butterfly's wings. We'll do one layer right away over everything. And when I mean over everything, I just have to move my chair. I mean over the peach. Try not to get any of that pink into the yellow, okay? I'm just being careful here so I don't go outside my pencil line. And I'm turning my pink pencil once in a while. Don't forget to do that. It's very important. I'm here to remind you to do that. But if you're on your own doing a drawing, make sure to remember to do that, okay? So I'm just going to be careful. There we go. Okay. We are definitely going to be adding another layer of pink. I know it doesn't look very vibrant right now, but it will. And we might even add more peach. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Like I said, I kind of am making this up as I go. Usually I have an idea of what colors I want to use, but it was kind of last minute, and I thought, well, I want to try to blend. This is what I mean by blending, is that you take two colors and you color them in together. So we did one layer of peach, two layer of peach. The third layer is pink, and we might do a fourth or a fifth. I don't know yet. Do you see butterflies where you live? I see them. Not as many as there used to be, though, which is kind of sad, but I try to have flowers in my garden that they like. Oh, my dog Raven just woke up and shook. I try to have flowers in my garden that they like the nectar from, you know, that they can feed from the nectar. Because I like to have butterflies in my garden. All right. I have a dog, her name is Raven, and she's a Rottweiler, and she doesn't know how big she is. She thinks she's a little tiny puppy, but she's a big dog and she makes a lot of noise. She's so cute though. How are you guys doing? Now it looks pretty light right now, doesn't it? So why don't we go ahead and put in a second layer of pink. See, looks better already. And all over the peach. Are you remembering to turn your pencil? Because I forgot. All right. I think I'm going to be putting in another layer after this. I'm going to see. The pink seems a little too light for me. Don't forget to turn your pencil. But you can compare. See, this is a little darker than this one is. But what I'm going to do is put in a third layer right away. And I am not pressing hard at all, okay? And I'm turning my pencil. All right, that looks a little nicer. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'll put in my second layer here, my second layer of pink, that is. Turning my pencil. There we go. And I'll put a third layer of pink here. And I'm not pressing hard. Don't press down too hard. And turn your pencil once in a while. So how you doing, guys? How's yours looking? Mine looks a little more vibrant in front of me than it does on the camera because of my bright lights. But I'm going to take that peach and I'm going to go over the entire wing area again just to see what that looks like because I'm curious. We're blending colors today. I think that looks nice. It's It's very subtle, but I can see the difference myself here. I remember going in Montreal, in Canada where I live. I used to live in Montreal, in the city. And they had a place called the Botanical Gardens, and they had a butterfly exhibit there one time. It was so cool. There were thousands of butterflies in that little house, and there were all sorts of colors and sizes, and they would land on your hand, and it was really, really cool. I never saw so many butterflies in my life. It was really a nice experience. I like to draw butterflies. I think they look like little fairies. Don't forget to turn your pencil. Okay, my friends. So we're doing pretty well, I think. I like the way it's looking. Now what we're going to do, if you want to, and I'll leave this up to you, is outline. I love to outline, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to outline my butterfly with my black fine tip marker. And if you don't have a marker, if you want to outline, that is, you can use black coloring pencil. And I'm being careful because I don't want to go outside my pencil line here. I just think it looks a lot nicer when you outline. I'm doing everything, her head, her eyes. And her body. I can't talk while I'm doing this. I want to make sure that I don't go outside the lines. You know what? While we're here on the eyes, I'm going to color her pupils in black, just while I'm here. There we go. Give her some character. Continue to outline. I think this is starting to really look nice. All right, there we go. Now what we can do is put in some details, okay? And I'm using my black marker to put in details. I'm going to give her some antenna. Just boop, like that. And boop, like that. And I'm going to give her some eyelashes. And a nice big smile. She's a happy little butterfly. Now on the wings, I want to add a little bit of detail, and you can do whatever you like. I'm just adding some lines like this. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Just some lines, just a little bit of detail. Maybe a little line here too. And the same thing, and I'm going to put the lines down here going right to her body. And why don't I just do this? Like that. A little line up here. There. Okay, that's enough, Rain. I'm getting carried away with the lines. Okay, now just a little detail down here. On the bottom here, just 3 little lines like this, and some lines inside the bottom part of her body here. Okay, my friends, so that's the little butterfly. Isn't she cute? I want you to sign your work. I want you to be proud of the work of art that you just created. It's beautiful. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson, my friends, and we'll see you next time on Rain Francis Art for Kids. Thanks for watching. Bye.